Dog City, Tuesday at 12:30 and Sunday at 8 on ATV.
We are so fortunate here because we can do everything that you see in the designer magazines basically for free.
1 month to go. You ready for Christmas? We've got some original ideas that might get you in the mood tonight, live at 5.
Now, from the ATV News Center at every city and town in the Maritimes, this is the ATV Evening News, live at 5.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Live at 5 for Friday, November 25th. I'm Nancy Regan.
And I'm Paul Meunier. Here's a look at some of the stories ATV reporters around the Maritimes are putting together for tonight's show.
Landry. Monday, nearly 200 Canadians, many from this region, will be honored for their valiant search efforts during the 1992 West Ray mine disaster. That story coming up tonight on Live at 5.
13, 14, 15. I'm Randy McDonald in Sydney. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, is a life-saving technique. We'll have the dramatic proof. A hero story coming up on Live at 5.
I'm Mike Cameron in St. John. Heroes rescue people from burning buildings and traffic accidents, but they also do some of the little things and don't get much recognition for it. We'll have more on that later in Live at 5.
I'm not just a whimsical figure who wears a charming suit
And also ahead tonight, what'll be on the big screen this Christmas season? We've got your ticket to the movies later.
There's no any show, so I think we are the best hockey player right now.
They are one of the hottest teams in the American League. So why isn't Prince Edward Island supporting the Senators? The story tonight.
And Paul has the patented Friday funnies. The plays of the week are later on Live at 5.
All coming up in the Friday edition. First, though, let's check in with Steve Murphy, who's working on the ATV Evening News at 6 tonight. Steve, what's going on?
Well, Paul, a war far away is hitting close to home tonight, touching the lives of many maritime families. The family and friends of Canadian peacekeepers trapped in Bosnia are worried and waiting for the latest word from that war-torn country tonight. Maritimers among the 55 hostages now being detained by Bosnian Serbs. There are new reports tonight of NATO bombing runs, so the uncertainty is growing by the minute. We will wrap it up for you tonight at 6 o'clock. More courtroom action in the Maritimes today. The trial of 21-year-old Wade Gerald Fleet heard testimony from ex-inmates of the Halifax County Correction Center today. Fleet is charged with the first-degree murder of Donnie Finley last October. You'll find out what those inmates had to say about what took place inside the jail the day Finley was killed tonight at 6 o'clock. Also, the latest on the continuing water woes in Moncton, where after a month of cutting back, there's no easing of the crisis. Thousands are doing their part to cut back on water consumption, but is it doing any good at all? We've got the very latest coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Right now, the latest on your weekend weather from meteorologist Steve Weigel. Steve?
Thanks very much, Steve. We'll see a mixed bag of showers and flurries this evening before skies clear out overnight. And the weekend looks great. Lots of sunshine headed our way. I'll be back with your complete weekend forecast later in the show. Steve?
Okay, first weather here at 5:30, then at 6 o'clock, all the day's top stories, including a look at the Irving Empire. Still one of the most dominant economic forces in the Maritimes, and despite the large number of Irving family members working within the empire, there's no sign of a McCain-style family feud in the Irving Empire. We'll take a look at whether anything has really changed since the death of Patriarch K.C. Irving tonight on your ATV Evening News at 6 o'clock, right after Live at 5, which continues now with Paul and Nancy, guys.
Thank you, Steve.
And first at 5 tonight, maritime heroes. From people who make a difference every day to those who respond in the worst kinds of tragedy.
Many say it's long overdue, but Monday, almost 200 draggermen and miners who participated in the valiant search effort during the West Ray mine disaster will be honored with medals of bravery.
The ceremony is the first of its kind in Canadian history. ATV's Janice Landry now with a look at Monday's special ceremony. Janice?
Well, Paul and Nancy, the ceremony will be held in Stellarton on Monday at the Sharon St. John United Church. Now, I just got off the phone a few minutes ago with the Governor General's office in Ottawa, and they say 181 people have confirmed that they will be in Stellarton to receive those medals, and they're expecting to hear from 10 more.
We were all behind them. The public was behind them. And we felt what they did was, tremendous act of bravery, and that they deserved to be recognized by the Canadian government for that act.
Those words from Shirley Day Comish, the wife of a former draggerman who single-handedly spearheaded and won a letter-writing campaign for medals of bravery for the draggermen and miners. They came from across the Maritimes in Canada to help search for survivors in the May 1992 explosion. The blast killed 26 miners. Despite a valiant search effort, the mine remains a permanent tomb for 11 miners. Today, that's what haunts a New Brunswick draggerman who will be among those honored on Monday.
It was a great accomplishment, but it wasn't 100% because there's still people down there, and I honestly believe that with our abilities, we could have went further and taken these people out.
People we spoke to today are glad the draggermen and miners are finally being honored.
We take a long time here to honor things that are important. I mean, even buildings and things like that. And people are the same way. I mean, they should have been rewarded long before now.
Monday's award ceremony will be a first here in Canada. It's the single largest civilian award ceremony since the creation of the Canadian Honour System under the Order of Canada since 1967. And it's the first time the awards will be given outside Rideau Hall, an honor according to the acting chief of protocol for Nova Scotia.
The many people that are coming here to receive these awards from as far away as the Yukon, Kentucky, Newfoundland, and all across this country is a tribute to all Canadians for coming together as a community to help a small community in a time of disaster. So it's very moving for the people that have been involved, and especially for the people of Pictou County.
And Paul, it's nice to see that tribute finally happening. Now, the ceremony begins Monday at that church at 2:30 in the afternoon, and it is expected to run for an hour and a half to 2 hours, but Paul, it's for invited guests only.
So if you're not invited, you can't attend this thing?
Well, I just got off the phone, as I said earlier, with the Governor General's office, and I did ask that question to them because obviously there'll be a lot of people from the community and the province elsewhere in the region that want to attend this service. They said they're going to try and make about 100 seats, overflow seats within the church available, and today they're also working at putting some TV monitors in the gym below the church so that people can also go down there to watch the proceedings.
All right, thank you, Janice. And
You're
of course, we're going to have extensive coverage here on Live at 5 and on the ATV Evening News at 6 on Monday. So if you can't be in Pictou County, hope you can join us then, Nancy.
That's right, Paul. Welcome back to Live at 5. Beautiful November evening as people head for home and head for the weekend.
Yeah, and it's not all that chilly out there. We just stuck our head out the door a moment ago. Anyway, Steve Weigel will be along in a moment or two with the wake-up or sleep-in weather, as we like to refer to it on Friday evenings. But right now we want to talk a little Christmas, because we are exactly 1 month away from the big day today.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, and if that thought strikes panic in your heart, relax. We've got help for you. Relax.
ATV's Janet Stewart went out today in search of creative decorating and gift ideas.
Relax.
Personally, I'm creatively challenged. So to learn how to make a house look like this for the holidays, I turned to Neville McKay. Running a place called My Mother's Bloomers, he's got to be creative. And just look at this banister.
Some of the things that we've done are things like using things over again. The roses that we put in the garland, for example, you can take those right out after Christmas and put them back in the vases that came in.
Using natural things like pine cones and tree boughs, even cookies, decorating can be easy. Check out this way of wrapping presents.
Basically what we did was we went around, gathered some leaves from alongside of the road, spray painted them just with just a hint of gold here and there, and placed them on the presents, glued them on, spot glued them, so it looked like they've blown and hit the craft paper presents.
Simple ideas like sprinkling gold stars on a table can make it magical. Any other ideas for Christmas?
Well, yes, what we did is to make a cluster of candles, we took some plaster and we put a candle in it when it was wet and made a hole for the candle to sit in. And then we just waited till it dried and we spray painted it gold. And you can do this with any kind of modeling clay or Play-Doh or anything. And then what we did is put it in amongst some fresh greens and some cranberries, and you have a nice cluster of candles.
If it's creative gift ideas you're looking for, try going back to the basics. You can find some real maritime gems. Local craft shows are full of ideas. What's everything here made of?
They're all made out of wheat straw. This is a very old traditional craft that was almost lost with mechanization of wheat harvesting, and it's coming back slowly.
And for your feathered friends,
What kind of birds would use these feeders? The chickadees and small finches seem to like it the best.
and remember, whatever's in your home for the holidays can be lovely. In Halifax, Janet Stewart, ATV News.
Good stuff.
Well, that gets me thinking anyway.
Yeah, well, you know, I was just going to bring you up to date. Hockey fans couldn't wish for a better Christmas present than, of course, the resumption of the NHL season. At this hour, and just about half an hour ago, talks resumed in the city of Boston.